Hello,
Hi again.
and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Metal Gear University.
Another episode?
Well-
Whole other one?
A whole other one, every 2 weeks, baby.
Wow.
Also, it is another episode of Metal Gear Solid 2. Hooray!
Hooray!
It continues.
And guess what? It's not the last one. We thought it was the last one. It's not the last one.
We wrote the notes and we were like, we're going to make sure it fits. This is it. And then the notes came out to be like 6 pages and we were like, we can't do this.
It would turn into like a 3-hour-long epic. And I know that there are some people out there that are like, we want that.
What's wrong with that?
There's not. Okay, look. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it's not in our usual content that we bring out. Like, I feel like 2 hours is like our tap out.
No, and I mean too, if it's 3 hours, it's gonna be 3 hours of just what happens in the game, as opposed to me and you bullshitting and describing our little input and analysis.
Yeah, and we want to analyze the game, and we want to like go through a step-by-step process to help people who are new to understand.
And we're intellectuals.
Sometimes, I don't know.
I said that earlier, and Tom was like, "Who are you kidding?" I'm like, "Damn, we watched John Oliver. We're into it. That's so terrible, but it's a joke."
But we were just thinking that if you wanted to just have like a play-by-play, you could just like honestly just read the wiki, and that's good if you just want the gist of it. But we figure you want to listen to us for some substance, and you want to hang out with us for a little bit.
I don't think you all come here to listen to us read the wiki, which we don't.
No.
You know what I mean? We don't. We write notes, play the game, write notes, and then we also interject.
How long is this fucking Google Doc I'm looking at right now?
Oh, this is from all the parts so far.
Oh, it's all the parts. So Metal Gear Solid 2 is how many pages long?
Give me, I'll show you right now. 38 pages so
38 pages? Fuck.
38 pages. I'm serious about what we do. I'm serious. But
honest to God, I think when we eventually go through the entire series, all of our notes could be comprised into like the Metal Gear Solid University textbook.
Come on, a little coffee table book.
Hear me out. That could be good.
Anyway, everybody, we hope you're doing well. We're recording this on a lovely Sunday. It is daylight savings time, so we lost an hour. But you know what?
I feel like ass.
But hopefully, this will be a highlight of your sleepy little week. We want to jump in and discuss the last email we got. Again, if you'd like to send us an email, it's tkandm@gmail.com. That is ITSTKANDM@gmail.com. Thank you for all the letters we've gotten so far. We got one last week, and we wanted to talk about it real quick before we discuss everything else that happened the past week.
Yeah. I personally, I get like this weird sense of existentialism whenever we get an email. A little piece of me thinks that you're writing these under like dummy emails to make me feel good.
Tom releases stuff, and then I tell him like the analytics, and he's like, "Nah, that's not real."
Nah.
And then we get an email. He's like, "Yo, people are listening." Like, what do you think we're doing?
I don't know.
But this email is from Gray Fox Mando. Thank you for emailing us, letting us be able to use your name. So Gray Fox Mando said that they recently pulled the trigger and bought Metal Gear Solid Master Collection for the Nintendo Switch. What I love is that they said that was the best purchase they ever made on this device. First of all, Nintendo is just crying from that. Nintendo's like, are you kidding me right now?
Really? Of all the Mario stuff that we make all the time, you're playing that? Okay.
But we like that because the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, for those who have been following since it's been released, it's been a hot topic, controversial even.
I feel like it's been cooling down because I like to browse Reddit, and for those who don't browse Reddit, don't start. You'll end up like me, and I have a lot of anxiety, and that doesn't help. But anyway, the hot topic was like it wasn't like quote unquote like up to par with like the HD collection, which was on PlayStation 3, and it's been a whole thing.
But it's nice to hear positives like
it's
this.
nice to hear a positive, and for me, I'm just speaking for myself. The fact that like these games are once again easily purchasable and easily owned digitally or physically once more after how many years?
No.
Amazing.
You'll have purists, and again, no shame to them. It does make me laugh. You'll have purists be like, I'm not buying this collection. I'll pull out my PS3 and play the HD collection.
And that's cool. Look, if you want to go down that route, that's fine. But you gotta hear me out, man. If you want the fan base to grow, if you want new fans to come in, you can't. I can't in good conscience
Tell someone to buy a PS3.
Yeah, I can't do it just to buy one game. I can't. Even as much as I love Metal Gear, I can't do that to somebody. You know.
And even thinking about how the retro gaming community is now, buying retro, which PS3 is retro now, I believe, I would consider 20 years retro. So PS3 came out where
I think like 06, 07.
Okay, forgive me. So it's almost 20 years from now, 2 more years.
That's insane to me.
I know.
Wow, time.
But you have 21-year-olds who were children when this came out. You can't, like you said, I can't expect someone to buy this just for one game.
Yeah. And I know that emulation is also a thing. And thank God for it, because it saves a lot of games from completely disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, once again, speaking for myself, and I can speak for a lot of other people, I have the ability to emulate. I just don't want to do it. I know it sounds silly. I just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
It should be accessible. And,
Yeah.
And it's kind of a like different argument, but I'm also so much for physical media.
Same.
So I feel like too, like having these on the current consoles.
Yeah, especially like I forget what exactly Sony pulled from stores, and if you bought it digitally, that's just gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was that other movie, 28 Days Later, that was recently pulled, and it's not streaming anywhere. You can't buy it physically anymore. And then there are people that are selling Blu-rays of 28 Days Later online for like thousands of dollars.
Because they know the hype is.
Yeah.
But that was a long rant just to say, like, there's Metal Gear Solid Collection, where that was honestly the happiest news we've gotten when the Delta news dropped. We were so happy for this collection to be released. So we're glad you're enjoying it. It's, with all the updates and patches, it's great.
From what I understand, it's fine. It's good. Fine, I know to some people are like, oh, it's just fine. When I mean fine, I say it's just as good as the HD or as just as good as the Legacy. It's good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I want to look up real quick too. There is a Minecraft Metal Gear mod.
Oh my God, yeah. I saw that on Twitter the other day.
Because I'm thinking of like with all these games being on all the different consoles and on Steam, now the modding community has access to, mess with it. So I want to get the person's name.
That is specifically why I got the Master Collection on PC as well. Because I knew that eventually the modding community would come to it, and it's beginning, and it's showing all of like the fun little things that I was hoping for. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping for one day a randomizer for a Metal Gear game.
I agree. I can't find the game. I can't find the creator of it. Can we do a feature tone to put the creator of the Minecraft mod?
Yeah, sure. I am notoriously bad at pronouncing the names of people on the internet, so I'm going to do my best and I'll spell them out. The maker of the mod is Avarest, Avaressst. They also had a friend, Pawson, Pughaausen. And then they have some special thanks to Night Killer and to Lori Allen, who lent her voice to the trailer. They all did a fantastic job, and I can't wait to check it out myself.
Thanks, Future Tom.
Thank you.
Anyway, that's a long rant to say, Gray Fox Mando, glad you're enjoying the Master Collection. It's amazing because Gray Fox also said it's been 30 years since they've played Metal Gear Solid 1. And they're having a blast.
That's cool, man.
Come on. I love that. They beat the game in just over 6 hours, which shows me that the muscle memory with that game is very intact in Gray Fox Mando.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, for me, playing Metal Gear Solid is like riding a bike. Like, once I'm there and I'm playing it, I'm back. Like, I know what to do. They had some personal things that they noticed, and they said that in normal mode, after Otacon lets you out, that Ocelot slips you a bomb in your belongings and that you have to get rid of it. But they sadly forgot about it, and then it ended up killing them, which I assume brought them right back to the torture sequence, which is bullshit. But I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
That happened to me too. I was so pissed. I didn't even save. I didn't even fucking save.
I think what's going to be funny in that the randomizer, that bomb will probably be a random item that you have to constantly check for.
Ooh. No, I would love to have a randomizer where all the items are mixed up and it's, oh God, it'd be so fun. It'd be so fun.
What else they said? But they're having a great time. And I think too, like, as you continue on through the series, let us know what you think about these games. And I like to also hear the differences from, what you remember when you first played. So Gray Fox, thank you for that email. Please remember anybody else, you can send emails to itstkandm@gmail.com. That is itstkandm@gmail.com.
Yes, thank you for writing in, and to all the other people that have wrote in so far. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
We also saw Dune, and man, that's cinema. That's some
Honestly,
that is some cinema.
No, that felt like this is why we go to the movie theaters for. Like, it just felt so grand.
Hell yeah.
I'm still digesting it though. I don't have much to say besides go see it.
It's incredible. I would heavily suggest to watch part 1 because you might be a little lost, but I figured that's kind of like self-explanatory. See the first one before seeing the second one.
Yeah. Timothy did the damn thing.
Yo, he was doing it. In the first one, he was good. He was good. He was selling it, but like I needed to be more. I needed to see more of the Muad'Dib in him. And when he brought out the Muad'Dib, I was like, okay, he's got it.
I'd follow him.
Yeah, I am a religious fanatic, I suppose. I will follow him into battle.
But we saw it at the Alamo Drafthouse, which was fantastic. Love the Alamo Drafthouse. There's a new one that popped up in downtown New York, and it's right by Federal Hall.
Yeah, so we popped up, and we were like, oh, wow, that's where Solid is.
That's abusing your right to free speech.
Should we even say that? You know what? We should bleep this, or should we just cut it out right now?
No, I'll just bleep it. It's fine.
You can't say it as spoilers.
I know.
But we walked by Federal Hall for some reason.
Yeah, it is quite a cool thing to walk by Federal Hall in New York City. But yeah, I'll just leave it there.
But Dune is great. Alamo Drafthouse is fantastic. Yeah, go check it out. It was great. This is not sponsored, by the way. So this is just us enjoying.
I just we like that theater. That's it. That's all.
And Dune's fantastic. You've read all the books.
I didn't read all of them, technically. Okay, well, Frank Herbert wrote The Six, and I read The Six. His son, slightly controversial figure. He wrote like 20 other ones
of Dune.
But
damn.
I don't know. From what I hear, you could skip those. They're not really.
That's kind of sad.
I mean, look, I've heard some people say that they're good, but it doesn't hold a candle to what Frank Herbert did.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's that.
What else happened this week? Oh, I feel like we're jumping around between different emotions. We do have to honor Mr. Akira Toriyama.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, everyone got news this week that he had passed. Honestly, it made me emotional, I will say.
I mean, he was part of my childhood, you know? He made what I would consider like my gateway anime. I remember being in school and running home to watch Toonami.
Oh man.
I remember this is so funny. I remember exactly where I was when Goku turned Super Saiyan.
Oh.
I remember exactly where I was. I was watching this Goku Frieza arc for, it must have been months, because it was...
And it was only a couple minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, the planet was like blowing up in 5 minutes or something. And it was like this like 30 episode arc or something. If it's not 30, forgive me. It felt like it. But like, I remember watching it every single day.
Man.
I was at my grandmother's house. And...
Was she watching with you?
She was watching it with me. They didn't understand anything that was going on. And I was having like...
a crisis?
A crisis. It was a very permanent memory being formed in my brain, and nobody understood the gravity of the moment. And it was like this process that was going through the whole arc of Goku getting stronger and all this. And then when he finally turned, like, ah! And then he went blind. I was like, oh my God, he did it! He did it. He's the chosen one.
Oh no. I'm telling you, like, Toonami, I don't know how many of us I think similar to you, Dragon Ball Z was my gateway anime. It was that and Sailor Moon.
Mhm.
But I remember growing up, like my own story with Dragon Ball is like my dad would buy these bootleg VHS tapes that were people I don't know how they got them, but it was GT. And it was from Japan and there were these bootlegs and it was just like it subtitled.
That is so awesome.
And I have some. And it's just like a cartoon that we all could watch together. Even when Toriyama passed, my dad even posted about it on Instagram. And I'm like, damn, like this was such a pivotal moment for so many people.
Oh yeah. I mean, I even remember in recent years, we were watching Super. And I remember all of the reaction videos of like thousands of people in Mexico just watching Goku turn Ultra Instinct for the first time.
Yo,
Chills.
Latin America you cannot mess with Dragon Ball Z down there. There's parades going on down there now. You know that, right?
I had no idea, really.
So this is actually true. Japan had sent a cease and desist letter to organizers in Mexico because when Super was coming out, when Goku was fighting Jiren, they were having watch parties. And so the government of Japan was like, no, like, don't do that. And they were like, whatever. And you could go on YouTube and see, like you were just saying,
thousands. it was like a Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson ghost. I don't know. Listen. I'm getting hyped. It was like the biggest sporting event of our lifetime, and that's how they were treating it.
I think I even saw like a poster. It was like some strip club. They were like, if Goku beats Jiren, there's free lap dances for everybody. Like,
that's amazing.
But it's Toriyama, man. I hope he got his flowers when he was alive, and I think he did. I think people like he felt the love, like
I'm sure, yeah.
Because like right now, I see it on the news right now. You have different governments reacting. Like I see so much love for him, and it's just it hurt.
Yeah, I mean, like he's one of those rare individuals that created something that sparked something not only in his own country but around the whole world. Mm-hmm. And there are very few people alive today that could take credit for something like that.
Yeah.
And that's something really admirable. That's something like that shows that like he really had a story that resonated with a lot of people, you know?
And I mean, I think too, like thinking about us and our journey into being geeks and dorks, that was kind of what started it for us.
Yeah, that was
separately, you know?
That was my very first anime. I remember, this is going back even further, but I remember watching the Raditz arc at home. Mm. And, oh no, it wasn't the Raditz arc. It was when Vegeta and Nappa came down, and they pointed out that Piccolo was an alien. And I remember, my mom was just watching with me. And she was like, how the hell do they not know he's an alien? He's green and has antennas.
Mom, please.
And I was like even little kid me, I was like, oh, like she's got a point. Damn.
Yo, Piccolo.
How do they not know he's an alien?
Okay, Piccolo is the dad that stepped up. Okay, let him chill.
It just from an outsider's perspective, just my mom looking at Piccolo and be like, that guy looks like an alien, and everybody's shocked that he's an alien. It's like, how do you not know that?
Man, but Toriyama, man, R.I.P. What, like, the talent. I hope his family's doing okay. I hope other creators who were inspired by him rest, take their time, because I do know there's this issue of like manga artists being overworked. You have oh my god, forgive me, but the creator of Hunter x Hunter, who's like very sickly and like he's feeling very pressured to like create and finish. So I'm just hoping this wasn't a situation of that where Toriyama was kind of pushed too much. But I just hope artists, everybody takes care of themselves.
Yeah, I hope so too.
R.I.P. to that amazing man. Anything else before we begin on another wonderful journey of Metal Gear Solid 2?
Well, we finally released a new video of ours.
Oh, we did. I forgot about that. No, I didn't forget.
Oh.
What video did we released, huh?
Deconstructing Liquid Snake. The video that has been the albatross around my neck for months is finally out.
I've never heard that phrase before.
I don't know if I said that phrase right.
But that's how it feels.
It's if I don't know what an albatross is, but it was around my neck.
I think this video has been months in the making, I believe.
Yeah, and I don't. You know how you have like writer's block sometimes? I think I had like editor's block, and it just took forever to do, and I really needed to like take the time and just push through. And I'm happy that it's done, and that people have been telling us that it's a good video.
Yeah,
and that it makes sense. Because for me, I heard my voice in that video for so long. And I was wondering if I was even making sense.
Yeah.
Like, do I sound like I'm crazy? Does it, like, the dominant recessive does not mean inferior, superior. And I'm like, what am I talking about anymore? And I'm just happy that it makes sense.
No, that video, it took me so long to write. I feel like if it took me a long time to write, and then it took you an equal amount just to edit and, voiceover, and it was
a lot of work.
No.
And I'm just happy that it's whether it's good or not good. I mean, obviously I care.
We like it.
Yeah, I like it. The thing that like I'm just happy about is that it just makes sense. I just wanted it to make sense, and I wanted to edit it a certain way that it illustrates what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just happy that the message got through.
Big shout out to Luca, or on Instagram, her name is Mocha Luca, MOCHALUCA, who is a great friend of ours for many years, almost 10 years.
That's crazy to think
That
we've
is
known
wild
her
to
for
think
that
about.
long.
That's kind of spooky. But she is a doctor, and she speaks Japanese fluently. So we asked her for support in this because, we were really breaking down some specifics about Liquid's background, and she, no question.
Yeah, she was really receptive.
I love her friends for that, because it was the most random thing. She's not a big, she's not a Metal Gear head. She's not a big gamer. But I was like, hey, can you look at this cutscene for me? And it's the cutscene where Liquid is talking to Solid Snake about their upbringing. And she was like, yeah, no problem. Give me a second after work. Like, this woman finished her shift and then went home and watched a Metal Gear Solid.
I was like, wow, that's a friend. That's a friend. Find you a friend like that.
Mm-hmm. But big shout out to her, and big shout out to you.
Thank you.
You know?
Thanks, shout out to you for writing the whole thing.
Thank you. We're a good team. We're a great team. Thank you so much. But yeah, I think that's about it as far as intros, right?
I believe so.
This is part 8 of Metal Gear Solid 2 analysis. We are planning to finish this Metal Gear Solid 2 discussion at the end of March. Like, next episode should be the last.
I really hope.
It should be. I think
it's not that I hate Metal Gear Solid 2. It's honestly one of my favorites. It's just I want to do other episodes now.
No,
it's been a minute on this game.
No, I'm pretty sure this is it. So we're almost there.
Uh-huh.
Are you ready?
For the quiz?
Yeah, I was gonna jump into it. Why you ruined the whole introduction to the pop quiz? Pop quiz time. You ready, Tom?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
As always, for the pop quiz, we have 5 questions of varying difficulty.
Okay.
They're pretty good questions, especially considering how much information has been dropped on us just in the last part.
Yeah, and especially like if you've played the game, the last episode was literally Raiden getting off of the I don't know, the electricity table thing and then walking down a hallway.
Yeah, right. The last episode was 2 hours of a 5-minute gameplay.
Yeah, that's really it.
What's funny is that these last 2 episodes are essentially the last hour of the game.
Yeah, and it's mostly cutscenes. Like, if you're literally playing this game, you're barely playing it at this point.
Yeah, we're coming to the climax. But these 5 questions are, again, varying difficulty. Would you like to ask them, or should I ask them?
Let's go for a tit for tat situation.
Okay, you can begin.
All right. Question number 1. What's the chemical compound that Raiden was subjected to as a child soldier?
Great question.
I know, I feel like I'm hitting you with a haymaker right off the bat.
It's a great question. Especially, the background of this question is that we learned that there was a certain chemical mixed in the food that Raiden ate as a child soldier.
Yeah. We'll give you a hint. It was gunpowder
Mm-hmm.
that was mixed into that food.
gunpowder contains a chemical compound known as toluene.
Oh, that's correct.
Thank
yeah,
you.
toluene apparently makes you more anxious and it makes you more susceptible to commands and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing to include because you think of like a soldier, you want someone who's strong and maybe determined, but for these child soldiers, you just want someone who's like easily controllable.
Yeah, and like frantic. It's kind of funny thinking about it in these terms, but in some like real-time strategy games, there's certain units that you could develop that are all low leveled, but there's a lot of them, and they attack frantically. And I feel like that's the idea of these child soldiers. That like they're all like low skilled, but they're frantic.
Yeah.
You know.
It's more of a quantity over quality type situation.
Yeah.
But thank you. Question number 2: Who or what is the Colonel?
The Colonel is an AI, but the Colonel itself is the expectations that Raiden already built up within himself. So like the nanomachines in his body made this fake AI Colonel, so to speak. Is that
Correct.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. I like that idea that Raiden created the Colonel. Like he created what he felt the perfect leader would be.
Yeah, I guess putting it simply, like a lot of programs have like these AI prompts nowadays. Like there's TikTok filters that have them, and you could use it in Photoshop. That there's probably something going on in Raiden's brain that was like, "Give me the Colonel from Metal Gear Solid," and then that popped up. You know?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's kind of sad too because all this stuff is happening based on, I guess you can boil it down to like Raiden kind of created this for himself.
Yeah.
It like, kind of like blame, you can kind of blame him in a very primitive, like kind of like you getting to its core, you can say it's his fault, but we know it's not Raiden's fault. Maybe Raiden doesn't deserve any of this.
No. So, question number 3. What is Olga's motivation for allying herself with the Patriots?
Our girl Olga's motivation is that of her child.
How so?
In the sense that Olga has to support Raiden and ensure that he completes his mission because his vitals, his life is tied to the life of her child. So if Raiden dies, i.e. fails his mission, then so does her child.
That's correct. Yeah. There's also another caveat. She's never held the baby in her arms. She's never seen it outside of giving birth to it. That
is, honestly, I get goosebumps thinking about that. Like, you do all this work. You know what I mean? Like, she's a soldier. She's done some intense stuff. But you give birth in a hospital that's run by these, like, the Illuminati, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
And you give birth, you go back to sleep, you knock out. And they're like, yeah, baby's gone. You have a mission now. Like, what?
Yeah. I mean, I feel that, like, that really shows so much of Olga in such a short span of time. Because, I mean, I can imagine that there are a lot of mothers out there that would do exactly what Olga did in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though that a lot of people are not as skilled as Olga. But even so, like, and anyone out there would do exactly what she did. And I think that's like a really cool thing to show in a video game. Because, like, even nowadays, you don't see a lot of that,
And I think, too, having her motivation be love, I think is so interesting in this game where it's just a lot of people going behind others' backs, being cutthroat, being manipulative. And you have this one character whose sole motivation is the love of her family. And she's been a character who has stated her love for her family her whole time in this series.
Mm-hmm.
She's with her father, and when the
tanker goes down, and then she thinks that it was a Solid Snake the whole time, and then
her motivation is revenge against
him.
She's always been guided. She's a skilled soldier, but is always guided by love and family. So she's like, right? I mean, like, you're cool and all. I don't really care. It's my baby. Mm-hmm. Like, I want my baby to live. There's no guarantee she's gonna see the baby,
but she just wants that baby to live.
Oh, bendito. Okay. Ready for question number 4?
Mhm.
Talking about babies,
Mm.
what were the nicknames given to Raiden when he was a child soldier?
Oh, I get this one myself all the time.
What, this first nickname?
Yeah, this first nickname, White Devil. No, I've never gotten White Devil. Although it's funny that that's the name.
That's kind of funny.
And Jack the Ripper.
You are correct.
Thank you.
You are correct.
Thank you.
Poor little baby Raiden. Last question.
Excuse me, I asked this question. Last question. How many Metal Gear Rays are protecting Arsenal gear?
I would have gotten this question wrong, but thankfully, you may or may not have written the answer.
I don't know what you're talking about. We written down the questions on this 20 some odd page document.
There are 25 Metal Gear Rays protecting Arsenal gear.
It would have been really embarrassing if you got that wrong, but you are correct.
Thank you very much. I know this. I'm a Metal Gear
Person.
That is the pop quiz. We know that all of you got 100%. Are you ready to continue on this Metal Gear Solid 2 discussion?
I am ready to try to delve into the social commentary of a game. Yes, let's do it.
On to the episode. So T,
Uh-huh.
last we left off, did we even introduce ourselves in the beginning? We're TK and M.
I believe we... I mean, we're really bad at that.
You're T.
Huh? I am T. And you're K.
I'm K, we're TK and M. Anyway, last we left off in part 7 of Metal Gear Solid 2, Raiden leaves Snake to fight the last remaining member of the worst escape room actors ever, Fortune. So yeah, Dead Cell was an escape room. I said this before, I'll say it again. Their whole point was to help
like governmental facilities or bases prep for potential terrorist activity.
So they were an escape room. So the last remaining member of Dead Cell is now fighting Snake. So Fortune, bad bitch, is fighting Snake, and Raiden climbs up to the top. I would say up of the strut, right?
He's climbing up to something. Well, we don't know exactly what.
So he's climbing up, and I'm just thinking, considering that Fortune can't be hit, I'm curious how their battle is gonna go, but we don't get to see it.
Yeah, like, look, Snake is really cool, and he's got a great ass. But I don't know what he's going to be doing down there that could really put a dent in whatever Fortune's defenses are.
I feel like you'd have to get up close and just punch her.
Right?
Because she can take a punch. It's just that she can't get hit by bullets.
Yeah. So, like...
I would like for him to start punching her and someone walks in. They're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Like, if you were to... Like, let's say if you're Hideo Kojima and you were to make a boss fight and you have to fight Fortune, what parameters do you think you would put into it?
If she can't get hit by bullets, I would imagine she's probably not able to be hit by like projectiles.
Uh-huh.
So I'd be like, it's a close quarters battle. You'd have to like find a way to get close to her, because remember, her gun is massive.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like it has a wide range of, what is it, attack?
Uh-huh.
So you have to find a way to get close to her, or like a Dark Souls thing, when she shoots, she's vulnerable from a certain side, so you run and punch her.
Or you could Dark Souls roll your way in.
You know, so you have to get close to her.
Through the lightning.
So that's what I would do.
Yeah.
But sadly, we don't get to see this battle, so hopefully we'll see Solid Snake in a bit.
And hopefully he doesn't die. I don't know. Maybe he dies here. Who's to know?
Who's to know? So Raiden leaves him, climbs up to the top, whatever, and it looks like he's outside.
Yeah,
right?
you could see the sky above you. What's also interesting is that the floor is the exact it's hard to explain, but there's like this bonus thing. If you've played VR Missions, which is another Metal Gear Solid title, and it's one that is alluded to that Raiden more or less went through. There's a bonus section where you're in like this empty area, and it's like this...
It kind of looks like a computerized...
Yeah, like a computerized floor.
Yeah. It reminds me of... Remember Kingdom Hearts, the opening? If you ever play Kingdom Hearts and you're like, you know, you're playing as Sora and you have to pick your Keyblade, the flooring looks like each Disney princess, and it's all kind of like decorated. The flooring kind of looks like it's made up of a piece of artwork. It looks almost computerized.
Yeah, it looks like you're walking on some sort of like screen.
Yeah,
rather
exactly.
Than a floor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know what to say about this. I mean, I think even before we're able to really just kind of think about what's happening, we hear Solidus.
Jack, I've been watching how you fight.
Yep.
So a lot of this game is like, what's this? What's that? And then
It's like, Jack, I've been watching how you fight. And you're like, oh, God, you.
where am I? First off, like, there's no, again, as always, Raiden is given no time at all to digest anything. But yes, Solidus, his voice rings out from the heavens. And Raiden, this is the angriest I feel like we've heard Raiden ever. Raiden's always been like, huh? What? Like, and this time he's like,
What are you talking about?
Because, like, at this point, like, really, put yourself in Ryan's shoes. The whole mission was a lie.
yeah.
Everything was just bullshit. Solid Snake knocked you out. Olga's a ninja. The Colonel is fake.
Also, Solidus was your dad. Like,
Solidus is your dad. He was also the president. And so, like, at this point, you're just like, enough.
yeah.
What are you talking about, man?
At this point, Solidus actually, again, we don't see him. It's just he's in the heavens talking. He goes into a tirade about the S3 plan. And remember, the S3 plan, that's what he was told by
Ocelot.
Ocelot.
Yeah.
that there was this whole mission. So it's a monologue, and of course, we broke it down to get to the meat.
The meat and the potatoes of what Solidus was getting across.
Mm-hmm.
So he basically tells you that the S3 plan stands for Solid Snake Simulation,
Ooh.
and that it's an artificial program to recreate Solid Snake through a VR regimen. And Raiden was the test subject for the S3 plan.
Solid Snake is essentially this perfect soldier, and they're like, we need more of him. We need more of him. Ocelot apparently found the S3 data in GW and is the one who told Solidus about all of it. He put Solidus up to speed.
Mm-hmm.
What a handy guy, Ocelot. Great guy to have on your team.
Yeah, good. He's a good right-hand man.
Uh-huh. Raiden ran from war as a child, but was brought back to it by something less than real. So Solidus got jokes about him. Like,
And the AI.
you know, he's like, oh, okay, you thought you could escape war, but this fake program brought you right back in. You didn't even put up a fight. Damn. Thanks, Dad. Last, Solidus wants to kill you, as you were just bait after all to gain information from the Patriots. So Solidus is this great mastermind, apparently.
I doubt it. Look, he's flying by the seat of his pants. He gives off very chaotic energy.
You think he's just kind of like doing this, like back himself up? He's like, no, this was the plan all along.
Yeah.
You know, especially to all of Dead Cell, they've been all like knocked out one by one. So he's just like, that was my plan.
Yeah, no, hear me out. If Ocelot just caught Solidus up with the S3 plan, if he just found out what this was, how is it is impossible for Solidus wanting Raiden to be there, and that's all part of his plan?
That's a good point,
He
right?
just found out.
I saw this. But he's trying to give this aura of like leadership and like, that was my plan. I know what I'm doing. I was the president.
I mean, in a way, that could be a leadership quality, because like you know you're taking command, and it's looking calm in the face of danger.
You're working with what you have.
Yeah.
You know what? He's very adaptable. We'll give Saul this.
He's adaptable, but he's lying. I'm sorry, that man is lying through his teeth.
Well, he's trying to look cool doing it. The way he looks cooler, he finally emerges as he jumps down from the heavens. Again, because remember, we're outside. Like, we see the skyline. So where does he jump down from? I don't know.
Somewhere, I don't know.
He's in his cool little Doc Ock suit, and he has his little heelys. He, like, slides in.
And it creates like a trail of fire behind him.
I feel like he was like, I'm gonna kill him with this one.
You think he practiced? Like, do you think that like he was like going around this big shell like ripping sick tricks off those wheelies?
I bet you he was in the room with all the, like, other, like, soldiers just, like, sliding in, like, yo, I'm gonna show you this. Does this look cool? And they're like, yes, sir. It looks great, sir. You're really gonna get him with this one. This is a boss fight. So after a little monologue and him jumping down.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you don't have the honor of fighting Solidus. Solidus is like, you know what? I've given you some worthy opponents, So you could die as the little Jackie boy I once knew. And he sicks all of the Metal Gear Rays that were in Arsenal. He sicks them all on you like attack dogs.
You have to fight 3 at a time.
Yep.
And it's Raiden doing somersaults, running around as Metal Gear Rays are shooting missiles at you. At some point, don't they jump on the platform you're on?
Yeah.
And like follow you?
Yeah. They fire missiles, they shoot lasers, they can stomp on you, they have like little machine guns in their arms. They're a lot. They're a lot to handle.
And I think too, depending on the difficulty, you have to fight a certain number of them. So we said there's 25, but the amount you fight shifts.
Yeah, it varies depending on the difficulty. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head.
That's fine. But it's, you do fight different amounts depending.
Yeah.
And I think even depending on how quick you defeat the number of them. Like, I think if you defeat, like, maybe it's a time limit to it, I wonder.
I'd have to double check on that one. I just know that, like, the numbers are definitely tied to it as well.
Okay. But it's a big boss battle. And I think what's cool with this boss battle is you fight an onslaught, you actually defeat a couple, but the boss battle ends with Raiden essentially being like, I can't do it.
Yeah, he just essentially gives up.
And I think it makes sense because he's a great soldier, but you're fighting giant mechs.
Yeah, because, like, after the 10th Metal Gear, you might get a little tired.
That's how this battle feels too. You play it, you're like, how many more are there?
How many? And like, just think about it in like even like lesser stakes. Imagine like you, the listener, were tasked to defeat, I don't know,
an onslaught of kindergartners.
And an onslaught of kindergartners, and you're like, you know what? I could handle 3 at a time. Okay, what about the next wave? What about the next one? And the next one?
How many kindergartners are there?
And the next one, and the next one. And it keeps going. I'd get tired.
After a while, you're like, you know what? There's too many.
There's too many kindergartners out there.
That's what Raiden says. There's too many out there. And he kind of collapses on the ground. And he's like, I can't do it. Of course, Saul disappears. He's like, oh, this is my chance. I'm gonna do the killing blow. So, like you said, Saul did not give him the honor of fighting. Like, this last battle. But he'll do the honor of killing you. Whatever. Great leader. Okay. It doesn't seem honorable of my own made-up morality. There's no honor in him doing the killing blow.
Does he do the killing blow?
He's about to do the killing blow, but then Olga jumps down.
Oh.
She was also in heaven, and she jumps down. And she stops Saul this.
Okay. Where'd she jump down from?
I don't know where everyone's jumping. They're on. We're waiting for their cue.
Where are they perched on?
I mean, I guess Solace was on a Metal Gear, but we didn't see any Metal Gears. And
Was Olga on a Metal Gear then?
I don't even.
Was she riding a Metal Gear?
She was an angel. She was an angel brought from heaven, and she's here to save Raiden.
Uh-huh.
Raiden, however, realizes that Olga's gonna sacrifice herself. So she's like, I'm gonna, like, Raiden, you can't. I'm gonna protect you. And Raiden's like, oh my god.
Yeah, she's blowing her cover.
Yeah, no, she's blowing her cover, and this is essentially like a suicide mission.
Yeah, she's sacrificing herself to save Raiden.
Which
essentially is saving her child.
And I think that's what she tells Raiden. She's like, remember, like, your life is tied to my babies. I have no choice. Mm-hmm. Which she kind of does have a choice, but this kind of goes back to what we were saying.
Yeah, like any mom would do what she's doing right now.
Mm-hmm. She's like, even if it means my death, you have to go on for my baby.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing, beautiful character. Honestly, I feel like, is this the first time we've seen like genuine love in this series? Like, I'm thinking about Gray Fox and Naomi.
There was love there. It was like a messed up kind of love, but it was real.
Yeah, they had some things going on.
Yeah.
Like, this feels very pure.
Yeah, this is like a pure love, I would say.
But she's there. She's ready to sacrifice herself. And in this cutscene, we're greeted with, I think, the worst death scene I've seen so far in this series. I think back.
Yeah, it's kind of brutal.
I think back to Metal Gear 2 when what is her? Oh my god, what's her name?
Gustava.
Gustava goes across the bridge and just like a missile shoots at it, and she
just gets annihilated.
And that was back on the MSX, so pixels don't kind of relay what she might have looked like.
Yeah.
But this one, it's all for us to see. Saldus kills Olga with a headshot, and it's The team does not hide how it looks.
Oh yeah, for PS2 even it's still enough to make me go ooh. Like every time I see, like even today when we were, yesterday when we were researching, and we were like, ooh, that animation is like wild.
It's not only the part where she gets shot, which we see, but I was say Doc Ock. Solace picks up her body, and we see like where the bullet entered. Like it's her body's on full display.
Yeah, it's like the lack of respect shown after her death is astonishing, honestly.
Raiden is defeated at this point, which I think ties to like how much he cares for, I think even too, like Olga's child. Like him and Olga really didn't have a relationship beyond kind of like she was just his informant. But I think he was a little touched by the mention of her child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He drops to the ground after she gets shot.
Yeah, and he doesn't even really scream. He just says Olga in like this really defeated tone.
Yeah, I wrote in my notes, it's like it's almost like a whimper. He's just like, Olga. Like,
yeah.
And for the rest of this cutscene, I noticed he's on the ground on his knees looking at the floor. Like this is essentially the end of him, I would say.
Yeah. That was something that like he tried to that was something right that he was trying to do, and he failed at that.
And I think with everything happening in this game, to have this moment be the point where he's just like defeated, I think it's interesting. I think it's kind of like you have this entire game where you're just, you're backstabbed and you're mistreated the whole way. And like you said, there's one thing where you can do right. You can not only save this woman's child, but you can also, like, you see this woman standing up for what's right.
Yeah.
And she's killed.
And essentially, it's not Raiden's fault, but he must be thinking, like, if I just held out a little longer, if I just was a little stronger, I might have been able to save them both.
Yeah. It's a terrible scene. It honestly makes me so sad. I think, thankfully, to his benefit, this is also the scene where the Metal Gear Rays start acting up. So, like, you would think Solidus kills Olga. He's like, okay, she's out the way. I can kill Raiden now. But the Metal Gear Rays start acting up. Like, they're, like, twitching.
Yeah, they're not acting right.
Before, they were just kind of standing at attention, and now they're, like, glitching out.
Yeah, like, their heads are, like, swiveling everywhere. If somebody was in the cockpit, they would definitely have multiple injuries just being knocked around in there.
I'm kind of happy they're doing this because it gives Raiden a moment to, like, just be sad.
Yeah.
Not the greatest place, but he...
Catch a breath,
because he just witnessed something heavy. I feel like this is the point where, like, another person's, like, love comes through. We realize that EE's virus kicks in. So to me, I'm like, we see Olga give up her life for her child. And then we have EE, who has since passed, do this to protect everyone.
It's a good metaphor for, like,
love lives on.
Love lives on. Yeah. Thank you. You okay?
It's just really sad.
Oh.
But sorry, go ahead.
No. I was trying to think of what to say, and you eloquently put it in like 3 words. So I'll just leave it there.
Okay. So the Metal Gear Rays start acting up, and what does Solidus do, T, while they're acting up?
Solidus gets frustrated, and he proceeds to annihilate every Metal Gear Ray in the whole area.
Flawlessly.
He is incredible. Like, okay, look, this man is corny in many ways, in my opinion. But this dude, when he puts his mind to it, this dude is like LeBron on the court. He is amazing. The Lace Up Phone 3 project. I get it.
Yo.
I get it. He was about it.
No, he looks so sick. Like, it almost made me like him.
Right?
Also, too, the way that the team, like, designed kind of like, I don't know if it was mocap or what. It probably was mocap.
I think they did some stuff in mocap for this game, yeah.
But the actor who did it, he looks smooth as all hell. And, he defeats all the Metal Gear Rays. And right when you're like, yo, he looks so cool, he grabs Raiden by the neck with his, like, Doc Ock arm. So you're like, oh wow, saw this. Yo, he killed these Metal Gear Rays in no time. Okay, he's choking Raiden now.
Like Homer Simpson choking Bart. He's like, "Why you little? You did this. I know you did this.
You made me do this." Terrible, terrible. If this wasn't bad enough that, Olga's dead, all the Metal Gear Rays have been defeated flawlessly while you struggled in that boss battle, and you're being choked out now, in tears probably because of Olga. Who comes in?
Oh, who comes in?
Fortune.
With who?
Snake handcuffed.
How? For years, I've always wondered this. Like, in what... The idea of Fortune completely pinning Snake on the ground. Like, her knee must have been on his back.
Right, just handcuffing him.
And, like, Snake is just on the ground going, like, "Ugh, get off me." Humiliating.
Like, yo, like, amazing.
Also, Fortune had handcuffs on her?
Yeah, she was the utility belt. Also, too, I like to think she went to do a killing blow, and he was like, "No, wait! Like, no, wait, please.
Please, I'm on the cover."
Like, what did he tell her? Or, like, what was she thinking to, like, not kill him in that moment?
I don't know.
You know?
I really don't know.
But she brings him out handcuffed. Before, like, we can get more of an understanding of what happened. Well, you know what? Before Raiden can get more of an understanding about what happens, Solidus knocks you out.
Oh well. I guess we'll never know.
We don't know how much time has passed. It's not given. But you awaken later, and Solidus is beginning to try to interrogate you/Raiden.
Mm-hmm.
This is a moment when you have, like, another... Is it a QTE, would you say?
Yeah, it's a QTE.
You gotta press... It's like kind of like a torture scene. You gotta press triangle to like
hold your breath.
to, like, survive.
It's tough.
This one's rough, right?
It's honestly pretty tough. On higher difficulties, that thing is rough.
Man. So, this is kind of like a moment where Solidus is trying to interrogate you. Not only that, it seems like Solidus and Fortune were talking because they've been arguing, apparently. After you survive being choked, Solidus and Fortune begin fighting. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem like they were a cohesive team. Or maybe it's been broken down through the duration of this game.
I can imagine that. Like, maybe they were more united at the beginning than they were right now. When things were going well, they had good teamwork. Now it's just kind of every man for himself.
It kind of reminds me of what you said a few moments ago, where you were like, Solidus is trying to pretend like this was his plan all along, but you have Fortune, who's a great point, like a person to point to be like, actually, he's flying by the seat of his pants. If he was all good, Fortune wouldn't be this angry, and like this wouldn't be this disruption in there.
Yeah, Solidus, he gives off the same vibe as a manager of a McDonald's that is run poorly. Like, at the end of the day, the burgers are being made, but the team is not happy. You know what I mean?
I mean, at this point, the burgers are not being...
The grill's down, the oil from the fries are all over the floor. But he's like, we gotta get these burgers out.
You got the manager and the shift lead just arguing right now. Also, why did the manager choke you? It's like... so many different things. As you're controlling Raiden, you look around on this platform you're on. And Ocelot's here.
Oh. Yeah, I forgot he was a thing.
He was just here. He doesn't say anything. He's just chilling in the back.
Yeah.
Maybe he jumped for the heavens too.
Yeah, I want to see him jump from the heavens.
I know, right? Like, I want to see how nimble he is. He's a little bit older. So, the girls start fighting, and it's a massive lore dump. Mm-hmm. Massive lore dump. I don't even know how long this cutscene is, but...
It's a lot.
We broke it down for you, of course. Solidus' main goal, this is what he states on this platform of all of you.
Okay.
He wanted a list that had all of the Patriots' names. He believes that their names are in GW, as GW is a filtration system, right? It filtrates information, and the Patriots would want their name out of the internet, so...
They would be in there somewhere. It's a solid enough plan.
That makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. Solidus was actually going to give Arsenal to Fortune, which is what Fortune wanted. So we find out on top of this platform that Fortune was going to betray Solidus and take Arsenal for herself. Mm-hmm. But Solidus was like, I was going to give it to you. Like,
yeah, you can take this thing. I don't care.
And he's like, nah, it's not that like I was being like philanthropic. Like, I actually told Ocelot this plan, and he planted the idea in your head that you wanted it.
He's so messy.
He's messy, like, yo, just say this to her. He's a messy. He lives for drama.
Yeah, right?
But he was like, you take Arsenal, and you can distract everybody while I go kill the Patriots. So like I'm basically using her as a shield.
Mm-hmm. And then he'll just sneak out the back door and do what needs to be done.
Fortune doesn't seem bothered by this. She wants to there's a hydrogen bomb, I think, on the.
Yeah, there's some sort of like big old nuclear warhead. Like she wants to go through with not nuking New York, but nuking the sky above New York with the EMP thing that we discussed earlier.
Mm-hmm. But Solace is like, that's a useless plan. Like, I don't go ahead, whatever.
Mm.
I'm smarter than you, essentially.
Yeah.
But you know who's the smartest all along?
Who?
Ocelot.
Well, tell me why. What did he do?
He reveals himself at this point in time to be the traitor to everyone.
Wow. Do tell. Really?
Ocelot
Uh-huh.
was working with the Patriots all along.
Charades usually are humorous.
Really?
And I quote, unless you want to quote.
Oh, everything you've done here has been scripted. A little exercise set up by us. Oh.
Do tell, Tom.
Oh, okay.
Do tell.
Well, he says that the S3 plan that Solidus just revealed, that was a lie. The S3 plan is not the VR training that Raiden was put through. The S3 plan was an orchestrated recreation of Shadow Moses itself from Metal Gear Solid 1. So, he basically goes down a list and he's like, hey, he's talking to Solidus, but he might as well be talking to the player right now. And he's saying, hey, all the coincidences that you noticed, did you really think that they were coincidences? That Ames and the president's death mimicked that of the DARPA chief and Donald Anderson?
From Metal Gear Solid 1.
The appearance of a ninja and a computer virus that mimics Foxdie?
That was all planned, baby.
All planned. And that Solidus and Raiden were picked because they were in comparison to Big Boss and Snake. Dead Cell was picked because they were the closest thing to Foxhound.
It was all, like, everybody on this platform was essentially a pawn. Except for Solid Snake.
Except for Solid Snake.
He was not part of the experiment.
Another caveat, who wasn't technically part of the experiment, was Fat Man. He was a different kind of a person. He was sent in to be a tester of
Raiden's capabilities.
Of Raiden's capabilities before Raiden went into the exercise proper. And they had to get Stillman to appear in the big shell in order to have Fat Man come in.
Yeah, Fat Man was very much working on his own requirements.
Yeah,
I have some demands of my own.
Yeah, Fat Man, apparently he was a very independent actor in this whole thing.
I could be wrong, but I think he was actually part of the Patriots himself. Like Patriots had reached out to him.
Yeah, I think he's probably of the same type as like Olga. You know, I mean, like, I'm not saying that like.
I was thinking even maybe Ocelot.
I don't know. Ocelot seems to be a little bit more involved.
Because I think about the way that Fat Man operated in this game, where he was very much like, I'm an artist. My thing is just about making bombs. I don't care about anything else. You know? He wanted to best his father, Stillman.
Oh, for sure.
And I think, like, that was his main motivation. So I feel like, to me, like, his death was kind of like he was okay with it in the sense of, like, I'm here to kill you. You beat me. Well, at least I was the greatest bomb artist ever, and I killed my dad.
I get that.
That's how I felt.
I saw it in a way where, like, Ocelot, for instance, is more of like a referee, so to speak. Like he's kind of like making sure that this exercise is going the way it's supposed to go. And Fat Man is part of the game, so to speak.
Okay.
And that, like, he knew the whole thing was a lie going in, but he was like, okay, if I'm going to be doing this thing, I have conditions.
Yeah.
And he was a Patriot agent to the degree of, like, I'm willing to work with you, but you got to work with me.
Yeah, but I think too, like, not to like, I agree with you, but I think
Uh-huh.
also, like, if you think about his role was to test Raiden, so at some point he either knew he was gonna die or thought that Raiden was gonna fail.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, which one do you think he?
You know, I think at the end of the day, it didn't really matter to him. Because like you said earlier, he just wanted to beat Stillman. And
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I saw definitely maybe on a different like level of a rank.
Yeah, like I don't know the ranking systems for the Patriots, but I feel like that they trust Ocelot more than Fat Man.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, all the comparisons and even what we described in previous episodes, that was not by.
Yeah, that was not by coincidence either. Like I alluded to like remember in last episode for those who listened in, I compared the AI Colonel's performance versus the Colonel's performance in the previous games. He said the same thing, if you noticed that. And there's even a line delivery where the AI Colonel said a word that was different from the first game, and he instantly corrected himself. I'll play it again here.
When we need to contact you, the codec will beep. When we need to reach you, contact you, the codec will beep.
All right. That's one instance. The game is full of those.
Where it's the same word by word.
Yeah.
The bright dot in the middle is you, Raiden. The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision. Your radar isn't affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it. It gets jammed easily, I'm afraid.
The bright dot in the middle is you, Snake. The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision. Snake, your radar isn't affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it.
Yes, it gets jammed easily, I'm afraid.
There's the opening sequence to the Big Show. It's almost a 1-to-1 comparison to Metal Gear Solid.
You swim in.
You swim in. You there are two guards. There's an elevator, and it's the opening shot of this game is almost 1-to-1, and that's on purpose. Even some of the bosses are kind of mirrored in the same way. Like in Metal Gear Solid, there's the Harrier, not the Harrier. You see, I gotta there's the Hind fight. In Metal Gear Solid 2, there's the Harrier fight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's stylized almost in the same way. And that's done on purpose to make you go, huh, wait a minute.
Yeah, make the player go. Raiden doesn't know anything.
Yeah, Raiden as a character, he doesn't know any better. But it's to mess with you, in particular, the player.
It's genius.
Uh-huh.
Absolute genius. I wonder what's Ocelot's point in revealing this right now.
I don't know.
I guess it's like, we're at the end. You're all gonna die soon.
Yeah.
Ocelot, we're still talking about the breakdown of the girls fighting.
Yeah.
Ocelot reveals that Fortune's luck in not getting hit by bullets was due to the Patriots planting an electromagnetic weapons technology on her. So there's something Patriots created, this electromagnetic device that created a shield around her. Like, it essentially prevents her from getting hit by bullets.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I always thought that this was silly.
Okay, tell me.
Because Ocelot points on to the device, and it looks like it's a little bit bigger than like an iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
How does Fortune not know that
She has
this device is on her?
You said this a couple days ago to me, but you feel like it was maybe on her weapon, like built within her gun.
Like, yeah, my theory is that it was built within her railgun, or maybe it was built within her gear in general, like a harness, like a particularly maybe thicker harness that had the device hidden within it.
Yeah, and then she had no clue. Because, yeah, how would you not notice this, I would assume, like, metallic box on you?
Yeah.
If that wasn't cause for her to be like, oh, how did you not notice that? Ocelot continues, and he disses the shit out of her. So it's almost like, oh, you didn't notice that? Well, also, too, you're pathetic.
Oh.
You are pathetic. And that whole little tragic heroine storyline we gave you, that made you useful. No one cares. You're tragic. Oh, your poor husband and your dad. No one cares. It only made our storyline better.
Yeah, we did that just to mess with you.
You know, you're just a messy bitch. And you love drama. And you know what? Bang! He shoots her, and it connects.
Yeah, he shoots her dead in the chest.
So like all this time, like she thought, you know, I mean, it's sad, right? Because in the game, she's kind of like she has a death wish. She wants to be killed. Everyone around her has died, and she's just like, who can defeat me? Whatever. And so right at the end, where someone defeats you, it's right after them being like, you suck. It was by my design that you're like this.
And then
You die.
that's it.
Also, at this point, Ocelot shoots her. He literally aims for her heart, but it's revealed that her heart's on the other side of her body, so he like misses.
It's an interesting fact about Fortune that's not really touched upon.
I looked it up, and it's apparently not confirmed, but having your heart on the other side of your body, it's called dextrocardia. That's a condition that, you know, people have the heart on the other side. I did a quick little Google search. Google, maybe the Patriots gave me this information, but it apparently can result in serious medical concerns.
Like what?
I don't know, but like people, I didn't put a lot of thought into it, but
Yeah,
apparently,
okay.
I'm so sorry, listeners, but
I can future time it.
if you want,
Yeah. So in my own research, I found that dextrocardia could lead to heart failure. So that's a big one. You're more prone to infections if you also don't have a spleen. So let's just pretend that Fortune does have a spleen. It could lead to infertility, but it's only to those who are assigned male at birth. There are recurrent sinus infections and pneumonia, respiratory failure. You can just get generally sick often. You can get tired easily. You could have trouble gaining weight. Your skin has the possibility of looking a little blue, like literally blue. It could also look a little yellow. You could also have trouble breathing. These are on the extreme ends. So I'm assuming that Fortune is on the milder side. So, more you know.
thanks for your song if you do it, but apparently like having on the other side can lead to like some like heart conditions and whatnot. But we never got that impression from her that she was suffering some kind of like medical concerns.
Yeah, no, she seemed perfectly healthy in every regard.
So why would they do this? Is just an interesting little point to like have as her character.
It is interesting. Maybe there's some sort of like symbolic thing.
Maybe that the Patriots can't plan for everything. Like,
Yeah, maybe.
I don't. It's tknm@gmail.com if you have any theories of your own, any headcanons. I would love to hear people's thoughts on that.
Yeah, like what is your thoughts on the importance of Fortune's heart being on the right? What are your thoughts on that?
Let us continue. Ocelot plans to escape in a Metal Gear Ray. Yeah, I guess he had his little spiel, his little reveal at the end. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna kill you all.
Yeah, I'm done now.
I put in my notes, it feels like the end of Toy Story 3. When
It does though.
Everyone's just like looking at their end. Because Ocelot jumps into the Metal Gear Ray and he's gonna shoot all these missiles at everybody. And in my head, I'm like, this is it. Snake is handcuffed. Remember, he's there. Raiden is still, I think, looking at the ground. I think he's still like reeling over Olga. And Solidus, Fortune, they're just staring.
Ocelot shoots these missiles from Metal Gear Ray and
Fortune steps in front of everybody and blocks all the missiles from hitting the team. And Ocelot's like, what? And all you hear is these like corny little like like boing, like of the missiles missing it. It seems like Fortune created a shield, a force field around the team. No one is impacted by these missiles.
I'd like to think that this part of the story, everybody has like almost this unspoken alliance with each other. Like Snake, Raiden, Solidus, and Fortune, they're kind of like working together.
They all have
in
a
sense.
common enemy right now.
Yeah, because like, I mean, when the missiles are coming down, Snake doesn't say Raiden get down. He says everybody down. Like
True.
everyone.
Yeah. That's a good point at that point too, right? And I guess too with Fortune, she's just like, oh, like the main baddie right now is Ocelot. I need to protect, which is interesting, right? I need to protect the team.
Yeah, I think that that's an interesting thing that a lot of people don't touch on, is that they're kind of like fighting together at this point.
There's a bigger evil
Yeah.
at stake, and I think also too, like, how does she do it? Is it all coincidence? Is it all
I don't know.
you know?
I don't know. I mean, weirder things have happened in this series so far. Maybe she really had that ability in her.
Yeah.
Who's to know?
Who's to know? But she does this, and then she dies.
Mm.
R.I.P. to a real one.
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P. We're saluting to Fortune. Bad bitch. With her dead, I was like, okay, I'll try again.
Yeah, he's like, well, I got more missiles, so bye.
You know, he goes to press the button. Like, we see his little finger on the button to shoot more missiles after that amazing scene.
Mm-hmm.
And he stopped again.
Solid Snake just screams, "No!" And then it makes Ocelot's hand twitch a little bit. And just take a wild guess what happens.
Why does his hand twitch, T?
Because Liquid Snake comes out from the arm and possesses Ocelot's body. And he enthusiastically just goes, "Brothers!"
The S this time.
Mm-hmm.
With the S. My boy, Liquid. Liquid. I'm gonna say Liquid Ocelot. At this point, Liquid Ocelot was like, I was waiting for the right time to awaken. He goes on this whole spiel and he talks about his plan. And he says, first off, I chose Ocelot's body.
How do you do that?
Like, let's be...
Your ego's a little too big.
I chose his body. My man. Can we just describe where we last saw Liquid?
He was face down in the snow, okay? He didn't have no plan. Get out of
Okay.
here.
Ocelot saw that man's body and was like, okay, I got a little transplant, little opportunity right here.
Right?
And Liquid was
Ooh.
like, face down in the snow, like, yes.
All according to plan.
Also, Liquid says that he leaked information about Arsenal to Otacon. It was him. Liquid was kind of real for that one. He kind of messed it.
Yeah,
he was kind of real for that.
Liquid was like, I want my brother out here. I want a rematch.
So he was kind of real with that one.
Mhm.
And Otacon said something like, damn, my bad.
Liquid? Damn.
But it still makes no sense. Like, this part, like, there's been a lot of theatrical and supernatural stuff, but the whole arm situation and like literally taking over Ocelot's body is so wild right now.
Yeah, it's funny because like Metal Gear is not shy to show crazy stuff. But for some reason the Liquid taking over Ocelot's body through his arm is wild to me.
I don't know.
Even in the terms of Metal Gear, like that world, it just seems something that's so out of left field.
No, it's funny because I see stuff like that. I'm like, that's not realistic. Then we have like a character like Vamp where I don't think twice about.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is happening in the same game, and for some reason, this is where I draw the line of like, okay, this is getting a little too much.
Honestly, big shout out to Cam Clark though, because his voice performance, like
Kills it.
His Liquid Snake voice is iconic.
I have been listening to his voice editing for that deconstructing Liquid Snake video for a long time.
In English and Japanese.
Yeah, I am well versed in Cam Clark and his Japanese counterpart. They are incredible actors.
But Liquid's plan, essentially, we're still on the digesting of this whole cutscene. So think about how long this cutscene is.
I feel it must be like 20 minutes long.
Liquid's plan now, so he's taking over Ocelot, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
His plan is to destroy the Patriots himself. He goes on to take this Metal Gear Ray, and he's gonna go find them. I mean, I guess at this point, he's just probably, what's he mad about?
I don't know.
Right? I guess maybe the whole Foxstar business, and I guess maybe he has his own things now that the Patriots are revealed. He probably is like, oh, they're the
big bad? Okay.
you know, they're the reason why all this happened. He goes to leave it in Metal Gear Ray. He's like, whatever, bye guys. I don't really care about what happens to you. I have my own goals.
Mm-hmm.
He uses the Metal Gear Ray to jump off of Arsenal, off of that platform. And at this point, Snake breaks out of the handcuffs, stands up and runs after Liquid and the Metal Gear Ray and dives into the ocean.
Chasing Liquid in the Metal Gear. It's a sick shot, but like, what is he gonna do?
Like,
What are you gonna do, Snake?
you were jumping into not like a lake or what, the ocean.
What are you doing?
Honestly, I feel like Solid Snake was like, I don't want to be on this platform with these weirdos. Like, get me off of this.
It's like, yo, Liquid, we're brothers. Can you just drop me off? Yeah, I'll settle for New Jersey. Just drop me off real quick, all right, man?
Arsenal, mind you, they're on Arsenal gear.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole time you were on this platform outside. Arsenal gear, I guess, has been moving this entire time, or maybe it just starts moving.
It's not really like said if it's moving this entire time. We could say that it is. I don't think it really matters either way.
True, but essentially, Arsenal is on a path to Manhattan, and we see it actually swim under, I think, the George Washington Bridge.
Is either George Washington or Verrazano.
So yeah, it like literally is like swimming under. I want to say it's a GW because we're like a nod to where Snake.
You see, here's the thing. There's the GW, and then there's another bridge that is mentioned in the game, the Verrazano.
Oh.
And I forget which one is in that particular cutscene. Anyway, it goes under a bridge.
I feel like we can even look to see because where it crashes into.
Yeah, the impact. Yeah, we could probably map it out.
So we see Arsenal. Arsenal's on a path to Manhattan, and essentially, I mean, this was a plan by Solidus to have it like crash in. No.
I'm not sure if the impact was planned. The nuke was planned.
Yeah, over.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. I don't know, but it's on its way. We see it go under the bridge. And then the scene immediately cuts to Raiden and Solidus jumping from the heavens onto Federal Hall.
Yeah.
So like we see the Arsenal go under the bridge, and then like it's a flash of light.
Yeah.
And then Solidus and Raiden jump down.
Yeah, it looks like that they fell from the top of Arsenal gear.
But we don't see it.
Yeah, we don't see them even like falling off of it. It looks like they literally just fall from the sky.
Yeah. What we want to discuss, and at this moment, you told me this recently. I didn't even know this. There's a missing cutscene.
There is, yeah.
That was intentionally jarring because they had to cut out Arsenal gear crashing into lower Manhattan.
Yeah, may we remind everybody that this game came out in November of 2001. And a month earlier, something kind of dramatic happened in New York City.
A few months earlier, yeah.
September. Oh, yeah. Sorry. A few months earlier, something dramatic happened.
Having a cutscene where this mech crashes into lower Manhattan, where, honestly, we were at Federal Hall yesterday, and it's a few blocks away from, One World Trade Center now.
Yeah.
So, like, too much.
It's very, very close to home. I feel like you might be able to do it nowadays, but that was way too soon. So they had to cut out this whole sequence. And if you dig enough, you could find the details, and you get it.
So they had to take that out. So that whole scene of like we see Arsenal going on the bridge and then saw this and Raiden jumping off. That's kind of the reason why. It's like that. Lower Manhattan is a mess after Arsenal gear crashes into it. Like, we can see, when Raiden and Solidus are on top, they're on top of Federal Hall.
Yeah.
It looks like...
Yeah, there's toppled buildings everywhere. Arsenal is literally, like, it crashed into the middle of Manhattan. So there's rubble.
And that part of Manhattan, it's not very grid-like other parts of Manhattan. It's a lot of little small streets, a lot of really packed buildings.
Yeah.
And very old buildings. So a lot of things are crumbling. It's I think it's a fire you can see in the distance. So it's a mess. But now it's just you and Solidus on this building. And we're gonna end there.
I know. We're sorry to break all of your hearts. But we we really had it in our head that this was going to be the final episode, and we could push through, but we want to go in depth, and we don't want this to be like a big podcast that might.
We just want to break it up so a little bit more bite size.
Yeah.
And I think too, I was telling Tom, we really wanted to also take the next 2 weeks to look at I guess not documentaries, but clips of when Metal Gear Solid 2 was coming out, like E3 or the Tokyo Showcase. We wanted to go into like, I know there's a video on like the behind the scenes of making Metal Gear Solid 2. So we wanted to like look at that to give a little bit more context.
Yeah. So like next episode, it's gonna be like a mix of the final act and a deep dive into what was the motivations behind this game and the social impact and the lasting impacts, you know?
I feel like that could be a 201 episode, part 9.
Perhaps. Like maybe next episode will be a 101 / 201 surprise class. I don't know.
No, yeah, we'll think about it. But what a game. We're at the end. Next episode should be, I believe it's going to be the last one.
It has to be.
We're ending
it has to be.
We're ending March.
Watch like, so guys, it's
change of plans.
Change of plans. We're going to be on this for a little bit longer.
I don't care if the next episode is 2.5 hours. We have to finish it. I don't care. But if you've listened this long, thank you so much. Whatever you're drinking, pour one out for Olga. Pour one out for Fortune.
Too soon.
Pour out one.
They were gone too soon.
For EE. Why all the ladies met their end this game?
You know, that's a good question.
What the hell?
Huh.
Wasn't the other day International Women's Day? I don't appreciate this right now.
That just clicked for me. That's Well, I mean, Vamp died.
Oh yeah, Vamp died.
Yeah.
Do we think he died?
Yeah. Yeah, he died.
How many times he died in this game? Oh, Fat Man died as well.
Oh, Fat Man died.
But you know what? All the women in the game died.
That's true.
So there's only a handful of them.
Wait. Yeah.
But was she even real?
I don't know.
I'm just talking out of my ass. Anyway, everybody, thank you for listening. Anything you want to send them off with? Listen to our newest video on YouTube.
Yeah, check out our newest YouTube video, Deconstructing Liquid Snake. We worked really hard on it. And if you're into genetic definitions and the meaning of Japanese kanji and all that stuff, give it a listen.
As always, you can email us at itstkandm@gmail.com. That is itstkandm@gmail.com. Let us know how we did. You can email us about your favorite Dragon Ball Z character, which we all know is Future Trunks.
Future Trunks is the only good answer. Piccolo is a good second, but Future Trunks takes the cake, in my opinion.
Future Trunks is so good. Anyway, yeah, feel free to email us. Let us know. Again, we're also on Twitch. We do a lot of geeky little stuff. So reach out to us. Besides that, enjoy. See you in 2 weeks. Tom, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for listening.
Thanks, everybody. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye, guys.